Well, after the frustrating experience yesterday at the field, I got back to the closet and took the tank out of my airplane. And sure enough, it's got holes in it. And we're going to repair it as a backup, but I got a clunk tank in it now. We're going to go out and run the motor and see if it'll needle, which it should. The only thing I hate is it's going to be 62 ounces now.
Yeah, you probably gained that. Maybe 4.5 an ounce. Let's see here.
And it's all on the nose, the end that I don't need it on.
That's one of the tanks I took out of my airplane. It'll be a little heavier because it's got plastic wrapped around it, but
2.7.
that's only got a single clunk with a piece of aluminum.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Piece of tube soldered on the side of it.
2.7. Plus you got a fuel line.
That's all the fuel line that goes on.
So let's say 2.5. What's the cat weigh?
It's got fuel in it right now. I'm gonna dump this fuel on it.
I think the Kaz is about 1.5 ounces. So we gained an ounce. We got 9 watchers. 3 thought like, good morning. Hey, Dan Winship, are you back in town? Are you sitting in the easy chair? Because I damn well know you ain't out in the garage sanding. I warned you, that shit'll sneak up on you quick. Shit, we only got 3 weeks and I still got problems. John's got problems. We only got 3 weeks to straighten them out. Dan says, back in town, sitting on the desk drinking coffee. Well, Dan, that won't get the job done. You got to get out in the garage.
Okay, now this isn't exactly the same amount of fuel line or anything. But
Let's take it all off. Take the fuel lines off.
here, I can just add a piece to it.
I think this is a hard tank. I got a soft tank.
Yeah, I know. So that tank's gonna be a little bit heavier. I have another gram.
Okay, whatever. 2.7 minus 1.5. So it's an ounce heavier.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's all on the nose. But I'll try it like that today.
And
What would cause holes in the tank? Beyond me.
well, this looks like it's a chip blowed out or something, or prying on the tank or something.
No.
Have you had this in more than one airplane? You know where you got underneath it and maybe just touch it, because this stuff's really thin. It's only thick around this edge.
Yeah.
You know, like say 1/4 inch around there, and then it's real paper thin the rest of the way. So these end walls are caked within.
That one there looks like it was in my Junar.
Yeah, it's got that orange red paint on it. Looks like it's been leaking for a while because it's sort of, the problem with fiberglass tanks is just that. They're not going to hold up forever with fuel in them unless you take them and wash them out every single time.
That's a pretty old tank, really. It's at least 4 years old.
All right, let's go run that thing.
Okay, we're gonna go
bonnet
run.
Cam, guys.
Huh?
Bonnet cam.
Yeah, we're gonna go outside and run my airplane, and we'll see if it works. So here we go. You're along for the ride. Wee! You having fun?
Yeah, upside down and backwards. And...
Okay. You want to get this so I can go out the car and get my fuel and
Get what?
this camera. I gotta go get the fuel and the blow starter. Well, I gotta be honest, at least we found something.
Yeah, see, I didn't find anything on my airplane because I pressure tested all these tanks that I took out of my airplane and none of them leaked. None of the fuel line leaked, even though I replaced all of it. Let's see here. Look at my, here you go, Danny. Gonna have a couple more up there. Bottom of it. Stab elevator. It's there, it's all on an angle too. It's not square with the wing. Yeah, it's a beautiful morning out there this morning, Danny. Nice time for sitting outside. It's getting a little warm now here. Hear them cicadas in the background? How's this thing unfold?
Slide it down.
I cannot see anything. Nada, nada, nada. Fuel or you gonna burp it?
Yeah, it's gonna burp. Yeah, it shouldn't. It should needle now. You know, when I pull into your driveway, I can hear the flying saucer flying.
Yeah. You can drive down the road with your window down, you'll hear areas where they're real heavy here, and then you don't hear them for a little bit, and then they're heavy again.
These crops are so dangerous.
Oh, God, yeah. They're not gonna stop for nothing.
You gonna turn it that way?
Pointing that way.
You don't need to be out here right now.
I readjusted the prop to my spec.
Where you want the angle at?
Yeah.
When you flip it through compression, I just bounce it off the compression. I flip the damn thing.
I bounced it off compression. Get some more fuel.
Ready?
Got my tech thermometer with me. We're gonna run these at 7,800 or 7,900.
Get that stick right there. Here, let's set it on the porch. You're not putting but like 5 ounces in there.
Yeah, 5 ounces. You know why my syringe was so hard to pull?
Why?
The rubber cocked in on that piece.
It did what?
The rubber cocked.
Really? Still got that first one, that experimental one that's a little bit damaged. And that one.
It's another one. And look at the rubber is starting to come off there too.
Those were all old to begin with, right? You safety tested that tank before you put it in there? Okay. First thing he said to me out there the other day, well, I think the bung's bad on that tank.
Yeah. Okay, so
Try to keep this thing aiming away from the porch.
tack wood right here. I guess I didn't
Here
bring
they come. They're already attacking them.
I guess I didn't bring the tack out.
Paper towel right over there.
Huh?
Paper towel right over there on the porch.
Come on. Now what's going on? One, two, three, four, and a half. Huh?
I'll put that on there.
I don't know, but I'm starting to get aggravated with this thing. Stop move.
I think it's flooded right now, to be honest with you.
Electric starter switch there. You think that's flooded? Burning off the fuel inside? Now it's flooded. About ready to stomp on it. Look at that. Fuel running everywhere. Set it down. Damn.
Did you check everything on the engine?
Yep.
I can't understand this. This kid's doing the exact same thing mine did.
Exactly.
It's all different parts, isn't it?
Well, it says everything.
Yeah, I know, but I said it's all different.
We already took the tank out of it and put a different tank in it.
Grab a 332nd fall driver. Just look inside there. Well, we got no idea what's causing holes. I don't know why this engine's having a problem.
Where's your stand? Can we use your stand in the garage?
Yeah, I put the stand in the garage. Hey, what's my ball got? When did you buy these? Why is this thing leaking?
It'll leak because you're up here and you're running downhill. Put your plug on it. You need to rewire all that.
Rewire Carl, brand new.
Yeah, there it is. You might need to pull that tank out of there to
There's something wrong with the motor. Yeah.
it's not drawn. So if it's not drawn, that means there's a leak in the back plate or there's a leak around the base of the venturi. When's the last time you replaced that O-ring down there?
Never. You got one? Gonna need a 1/4 inch wrench too. Damn, what a pain in the butt. It's not drawing fuel, period. Like I soldered the end of the thing closed or something. You know what? We're gonna have to take the tank out. It's not drawing fuel at all. When I soldered that thing, I must have got solder in the pump.
Yeah. That'll do it. You need to replace that O-ring anyway.
Yep, it's solid as a rock. There.
Well, I had to explain why it ain't running.
Yeah. I need a pair of cutters. Process of elimination. Can't believe I made that mistake. Something's clogging that line.
Well, two things. If it's not drawn, it's an air leak. If it's
Something's clogging that line.
plugging that line, that's a whole other ball. And I was gonna have you change fuels too, just to see if it was the fuel.
That's the fuel.
Maybe the first time it should have been that. Remember, you just had bad fuel here not too long ago.
Yeah, I know why too.
Yeah, sitting in the car.
This was a whole lot better to do this here than out at the field. I'd be aggravated. Out at the
You
field.
told me about it. Just watch me go through all this crap. Out at the field.
I'm gonna have to get them bolts out.
I gave me like that.
Okay. You better go and plug.
I'm just trying to keep it down the road. I'm gonna pick up any further than that. Look at the fast thing we can't get. I don't know. Pick up the phone with it.
They gotta come out of there to get this out of there. Kind of slide back, clear this. You got my car, get my toolbox.
I'm trying to keep them going. Running over the countryside. You glued that fuel line down.
Yep. Got a couple drops of CA on the tank too to hold it in, so I'm gonna have to break it loose. And it's a tight fit. Except you're going to the inboard side.
Well, can't hurt.
Yeah. I got it. Unbelievable. Rookie mistakes. It's like I was a beginner again. Gotta get this thing broke loose. For a damn channel lock to get it out of there. Can't get a hold of it.
Get it? Get loose?
No, you got the channel lock?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a real thin person.
I got that loose. I just need some channel locks to grab this bung to pull it out. You know what? I could just take the clunk system out of it. I don't even have to take the tank out. Damn. What the hell am I thinking? Just like that. Yep, sure enough. I don't have to take the tank out, John. I already got the piece out of it. Just need a drill. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go downstairs and drill this out. This one's mine. Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna worry about the O-ring. Problem solved. We got now. Let me squirt a little fuel through it. Get any smuts out of there. Beginner mistakes. Okay. I would explain it gripping. Okay. So the overflow. This goes on there, and this one goes the pressure. Where's my ball driver? I just had the damn thing. I like your ball driver. I don't know where mine went. I brought a short one.
You were carrying it with you when you went out there.
Must be downstairs.
You check both the line.
There's no solder on the other one. This go flow. Got it all neatly glued in there. Not anymore. No. Shit, I need a zip tie. Maybe I got one here. Yep. look at the kill. I don't know why we're having so much fuel tank problems. In a rush. I always have problems when we get in a rush. I go through this, and it don't work. I don't know what to do. It's gotta work. No wonder why it was doing 4.7, huh? I said just enough pinhole in it to draw just enough fuel to run. Found that thing now. Terrible. I'm tired of it moving. The cage are gonna come when I start this.
Yeah. They're already starting to come out before you came over.
Model airplane is the cicada mating call.
They're in there on the bottom side. Fuel line center over here.
Alright, try this again. Flip it over. Fuel it up. We got fuel coming out the carburetor anyway. This goes here.
Coming out of that vent line too.
Hold the nose up. Okay. Uh-oh, what happened to my plug? What did
Turn the top of your shit back. Get rid of this stand.
Okay, where's my hose? Where's the hose? Where's the battery? In my pocket. Okay, it shouldn't need a prime. Just flip and run. Wait. Look. Come on.
That your good blow driver.
I got 4 charges on. It's hitting. It's not checking.
distracted for them damn little things. They just come right after that. Just like castor oil.
I see the mouse still in there. That cicada went through the propeller and it's all over the leading edge. Get off me.
They don't bite, but they sure got sharp little claws.
Yeah, but when they fly right on your face.
Yeah. You had about 5 of them on your back.
Still?
No, you did. I crushed them off.
Well, they all went away now. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. No smoke, no fumes, no noise. They hone in on that noise, I think, is what it is.
Look at that. That's cicada gut.
Look at all these dead ones. Now, I blew away about 3 times more than that. Around bottom of that tree than shells.
All right, so this thing's fixed.
Little red bug-eyed 17 years locust or whatever they call it.
I was totally aggravated with this piece of junk. What?
Fuel all up in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of them little elbows
Yeah, and you gotta aim it.
down.
Well, you gotta aim it sort of away from the holder because it comes straight up in your face.
No, this I need a little elbow that goes on here. Little vacuum fitting. Randy shows them.
Yeah.
It goes down like that. It'll stop spewing shit. Well,
You need a rubber ducky or something on that where you can. It blows right in your face when you're holding it.
it's already nose heavy. Add some more shit to it. 23 and 12. Well, they like your model, John. They like your model.
Cool. Thanks. I can't read that thing in this
I
time.
know. I'll wait a minute here, cool off, go downstairs and continue standing.
I'm sorry, guys, but I can't read the thing on this phone. It's just out here in this bright sunlight. I just can't read that type.
Here.
Wrench. You got all. This stuff came out of my flight box, so I gotta make sure it gets back in there.
Cutter. And press it, wrench. That's it. So I will take it downstairs and re-glue that fuel line up out of the way. Aggravating. What happened was, when I made my trunk bung, there's a weight, and I soldered a copper tube inside there, and I heated it up really good. I sweated it in there, and I didn't realize that it had wicked around the other side and filled the tube up solid with solder. Wouldn't draw shit. So Got it drilled out. The engine seems to be working okay now. I get really frustrated when shit don't work. Should work perfect every time. I don't know where my other tack went. Not that I use them all that much. Let me go in here and look. I got a tack just like yours. And I brought it out of the car. I don't know where I set it. It ain't in my pocket. Well, I got 4 of those. I can figure that out. Keys and a phone in that pocket. What are you guys doing? Nothing in that pocket. Nothing in that pocket. Wallet. And nothing else. The blow driver, either in the car or downstairs. Under your toolbox. I had planned on just standing and rubbing. Glad I got this going though. I can take it out and fly it. 8,500, that sounded too fast, didn't it?
Yep. Would be about 8 grand, 79. I don't know, that's that flat back prop. That might take a little bit more RPM than that one I'm running. That was much later. I think I was going to go up to what did you say you were, 87?
Yeah,
Just now.
8,500.
85. I think I was at 88 or something, and I was running 5.4s.
No, you're at 70.
Yeah, 79. I was going to go to 8,000 and try to get it down to 5.1.
Okay, I'm gonna put this stuff in the car and we're gonna head back downstairs. So we're ready to fly again.
Mr. Airplane. Put tack here on the range somewhere. It's gonna be grass cutting day tomorrow.
So you already got them decals.
Yeah, I just had to throw trash away, and I saw them sitting there, so I pulled them out. I didn't look at them. I didn't know if you were going to take that bag downstairs, and I didn't want to make another trip back upstairs to get it.
I'd have to make a couple trips in. There's a lot of shit to take down there. The sand, I want to take the sand down there.
Yeah.
The camera.
You have a ring port down there?
What?
Have a ring port down there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a lot more happy.
Yeah. At least it's running now. That's half the damn battle.
I guess.
To wash all that off, wash that thing down. Index. Get all the fresh fuel off of it. It ran all over it.
It'll be fine.
As long as you're happy and you pick up the bill. Down there, you ought to go there on that lathe and make a couple of them plugs, fuel line plugs. I gotta make it.
Well, we can show everybody how you're making a tank. They've already seen me sand and rub, but we'll show them. Show them how you're making it.
I'm no expert. I wish I had a die. That's all right. We're gonna try to make a fiberglass tank or something. Maybe we get some epoxy.
You know, I would give up a little weight for a little more strength on them. You know, gas tanks are not. He could have put another coat of carbon or glass, or and gave up, you know, a quarter ounce and had a stronger tank.
Oh, yeah, a lot stronger, where you wouldn't have to. I mean, I like the idea of taking that tank and running that pipe insulation the full length on it, because that gives it constant padding the whole length of it. But yeah, that's paper thin. Paper thin. You look at it cross-eyed, it's not a crap. But I'll tell you what, that's just like what Randy says. Stunt flyers are the sticky guys that there are out there.
Oh, who's calling to pester me?
Danny. I'm in the garage now. I moved from the deck.
It is. Hello, what's up? Oh, yeah, called to pester, I know. Yeah, I don't sit down much. What a pain in the butt. What happened was last night when I soldered, I took a copper tube, 1/8-inch copper tube, soldered it inside the clunk. Well, I just sweated it in there with Stay Bright, And I figure, okay, it's fine. Well, shit, it filled the whole tube up. Filled it up probably half an inch. So I took it down on John's drill press and drilled it out. And it's fine. And we're just talking about making fuel tanks out of glass or carbon fiber. We got to get a aluminum mold, you know, whatever you call it, dye or whatever. Oh, well, this is not only me. John, we took his airplane out with his other engine and tank and all that other business. And same thing. Wouldn't run, fly goofy, whatever.
2 different tanks.
Yeah, 2 different things. You know what? Once you make that tank and you get it running and you confirm that it runs with my engine, you gotta take my engine out, put your engine back in and see if it runs.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it on test stand with that.
No, test stand, no, back in the airplane.
I'm tired of bolting them in and out of it.
Yeah, it's a pain, but
Hauling them up and down the steps.
right, we're gonna go out later today and give it a whirl out at the field. I got to get it trimmed out. I mean, it's got a grand total of 1 flight on it at 4.7. I wouldn't even turn. It was a combat plane. I mean, that motor was up on the pipe.
Yeah, it was definitely cooking.
I hope so. I'm gonna go take it downstairs right now, and I'm gonna weigh it to see how much it weighs now. It was 61.3 with the CAS tank in it, so now it's gonna be 62 something. And of course, I added it right on the nose where it doesn't need it. Yeah, lead tail wheel, a good idea. I'll wrap some solder around there, make it look like a spring. All right, I'm gonna let you go. All right, Dan. Bye. Yeah, I love it when I'm pestered while we're online. That's just great.
Well, Dan's the guy.
Oh yeah, Dan's great.
So he's back from Arizona, eh?
Yeah. I've known him 30 years.
Leaking the ticket was about his work, that's for sure.
No, I've only known him 29 years. 30 years. Close. All right. I'm gonna start taking stuff down. Yeah. Motor's hot.
Got 85 degrees out here. Need to take a little bit.
guys. I get 5 hands full of stuff with 2 hands.
Get the camera, I'll get the bag. Shut this door.
Yes, I don't want them potatoes in the garage.
You don't want no caters inside?
Or pollen or anything else get on that airplane out there.
Got to have the caters inside.
They might like to eat dope or something. Balsa wood.
Okay. Put the camera over by you. They've already seen me polish and sand for 1,000 hours, so they can see you build a tank.
Hello, Scotland. He's got a real hot plug in there.
Who?
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate about my airplane. If it's running on a pipe, it needs a hotter plug, but it's got a really hot plug in it right now, so it's not a plug. When it was running like that, it was a plugged fuel line. And that was causing it to run lean. Same plug he's used in it forever. Same brand plug, I should say. Not
Thunderbolt RC idle bar.
long idle bar plug.
I had another roll of paper towels. Were they up there?
Yeah, they're out there on the back porch on that little table.
I got 2 here. So. I bought a 6-pack. I'm probably gonna need to buy some more.
Okay, where was that here?
Dayton.
Put tools back. My little wrenches from down here. This stuff away from that stuff. There. And then there. Wash my hands off.
That cicada hit that propeller and he went That was the end of his being.
There's your wrench.
Okay.
I don't know where your tack's at. You had your tack was out the field that I saw it.
I found it.
Okay, there's that. I need that out. Get it back out. Gotta pick this stuff up as you get along, otherwise it just keeps accumulating.
Yeah, Dan was sitting in his easy chair, watching us and
Sipping
laughing.
coffee, oh my God. Heaven forbid.
Watching us and laughing. Look at them idiots!
And look at them guys. Let's see here. Let's check my template.
I might have to take that 2K clear and douse this nose.
There you go. Yeah, just douse her all up. Douse
really?
douse the whole thing up.
Because the fuel is.
Put plenty coats of that stuff on there, and then you can sand half of it off.
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Well, I might use it on the nose and the cowl. Keep it from eating the paint
And the
off.
problem with this stuff is you can't see, and then it reflects big time.
Make sure you show them what exactly you're doing.
Well, I'm bending the main body of the tank right now. I already bent a little Z-bend like in the edge of the tank right here, so that when the other comes around, it sets on that little ledge and solders to that ledge. I drew all this out on a piece of paper and took measurements of my drawings. So I marked lines on this tin wherever thing was, like it's 2 inches or 1.5 inches or 7/8 or whatever the dimensions were, and the angles that I wanted on the wedge. So I drew a little picture, full size, and that way I can sit here and I can lay this on here and make sure my angles are right, which they're pretty close enough for government work. I made a bunch of these little things. It's just 1/8 inch thick aluminum by about 1 inch wide hardware store stuff. Drill a hole and tap it one side, clearance hole in the other piece. And they're little metal breaks for different bends for end caps, or this long one for main tank bodies. I made it long enough I could make a, what is it here, between the bolts.
10 inches.
10 inches about, well.
9.
8 1/4 anyway, so I could make, if you make a 1 inch tall tank, you can make an 8 ounce tank. And then I just laid out all my different dimensions along the piece of tin stock. The hardest part about this whole thing is that the reflection off this stuff makes it really, really hard to see the line. You sort of pull it in there and you watch the line. The second it disappears, you stop and lock it down, and that gives you some somewhat accuracy.
Yeah.
Well, within a fine point Sharpie pin line, that's as close as you need to go. You don't need to get down micrometer dimensions. Don't make no difference. If they can blow mold the tank, they can do this. So as you can see right here, I got the back leg, the square leg at bottom or top, And I'm making the wedge, I'm making the final bend in the wedge for this next flat part. And I use this is just a steel block for a mill or whatever, the fixturing block. I just like something heavy. It doesn't slide around or anything. It's nice and it's got a nice sort of straight edge, hard, not like wood or anything. And I just slide that up in there real tight against there and then just bend it up even. And it makes a real nice bend, about an 1/8 inch radius in it. These aren't real sharp edges on this. I've taken some sandpaper and sanded these inside edges around a little bit. But always double check before you make your bend. Make sure you're positioned right. This side could be adjusted a little bit. So it looks good. Push in against the block, sort of hard. And this piece is going to end up parallel with this top edge right here. This will be parallel, so you can sort of eyeball it. I overbend it just a little bit so that when you solder the tank together, it sort of help hold it. It's surprising how accurate you can get with this stuff. There's that.
A little bit of medium CA, that purple bottle there, and some kicker.
Kicker's up there. My eyes starting adjusted from the sun outside. What I'm doing here is this vertical leg right here should be right even with this side of this piece of aluminum. If it is, then that when it bend comes up, it'll be good. Now I have to sort of pry this open to make this bend. When I get up to that angle, this will be a 90-degree bend here.
In my flint.
There we got the basic body shape. I always do is I take these little clamps
Good day, Mike.
and I clamp this overlap on each end, solder in between the clamps, and then solder the ends. Take your time doing this, no rush, get it right.
Oh, here's my wheel.
Yeah,
Shit, that thing would probably fit in there as is, wouldn't it? Or that other one's a 3/4. This is a 1, right?
yeah, at least a 1.
And just turn it down to 3/4 and it'll fit right in there. Dan agrees with me. Continental is better. We can make it fly.
Well, he can agree all he wants. I'm sitting here looking at the airplane in person,
Yeah.
and I think the finish on the other plane is better.
It's because I got more work into it. I mean, a lot more rubbing time.
Okay.
This one will be just fine when I get it all sanded and rubbed above.
Good.
Huh? Okay, this is 1,500. Let's work with that.
Take your time and make these joints nice and tight, because if you leave little gaps in there, that's just more room for solder
To break.
get down in there and mess up. Got a small. Some of the best stuff that I've ever purchased was little teeny C-clamps. Whenever you can find them, get deep throat ones and shallow, whatever. Try to find them. You can find them in aluminum every now and then, or there's some kind of pop metal that's not steel, so they don't weigh very much, which is really nice. Now I just put that on there. I had a little unevenness right here where it wasn't laying down flat, so I just put that on there and brought that down tight. Now solder this part in between these two clamps, and then everything will be pulled tight, and then I can solder the ends of it and it'll stay put. So that's that. I don't do anything with end caps until I get the main body built and ready. It's nice and solid, and then I'll start working on end caps. I like this soldering iron. It's pretty hot. It's got a wide tip on it. Well, pretty wide, 3/8 of an inch or so. A quarter. But it's got a nice, pretty heavy tip. It doesn't lose a lot of heat when you touch it to it, so it flows real good. I use just regular rosin core solder. I don't use Stay Bright. It's acid. It'll eat your tank up. I don't care how well you wash it out, it'll still sort of eat the tank like it stays inside in the tin. Soldered and get some water.
I didn't notice, is Bob Hunt entered in this year at the Nats?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't notice the name. It didn't stick out to me. I'll just wipe this here real quick. I already cleaned this tin, so make sure I don't have any fingerprints or anything on it right there. A little alcohol. Not really clamping that, I'm just sort of a third hand in it. I like watching paint dry here, guys. Watching solder melt, waiting for a soldering iron to get hot. This isn't an expensive soldering iron or anything like that. I think I got it made in 110, 100 watt, 110, 120 volt, made in Taiwan. Got it at the local hobby shop. The wattage is what you need. You need 100 watts. That gives you enough temperature that it doesn't cool on you. I've got a Wren, whatever they're called. Weller. And the tips aren't big enough on them, really. They got a tendency to, just cool on you. I take this and sort of re-tin the tip of this.
You ought to take my motor out of this and put your motor in this and run it and see if it's the tank. Run it with that tank.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. Now I'm trying to heat the tin up. And I want the tin to, I want contact on both sides of this line here. And when it gets hot enough, it'll start working its way in there.
That would tell you if it's the tank or not. If you put my motor in there, or you take my motor out, put yours in, and it runs good, then you know it's the tank.
This solder must be old or something.
I don't think it matters.
I got dirt in it or something.
What?
Got dirt in it or something. By the way, that's just a coat hanger bent around a piece of pipe, screwed down to a piece of wood. Why pay for a high dollar? Weird. Be alright. It'll be alright.
Yeah. It's getting flat. Take much more sand out of it all. Uh-oh, phone went off. I guess it ran out of battery. Run out of battery. Ah, there we go. Didn't like that. Did we lose you guys? Says we're still online. Yeah, it's out of battery. So I need to plug this puppy in and leave it plugged in.
Not the best soldering job I've done.
Okay, guys, I got to be over here because I don't have any electrical over there. So John will have to show you what he's done.
Yeah, we got electric over here. There's a cord.
Where?
Well, I'm using that one right there. Where's another one at? Now I got more than one cord around here. Add one cord around here. We're using that one. Here, right here, you just plug into this. Come from the other side or something.
Every time I unplug it, the screen goes out because the battery is dead. There we go. Oh, this ain't on or what? How do you turn it on?
Should be on.
It's not. Nope, got no power. There, wait a minute. There, what? There it is. Okay. You're gonna have to stand on the other side of that.
Okay, it's not the prettiest one in the world, but it'll suffice. It's soldered all the way through. It's nice and tight. Now you're going to sort of straighten these end cap areas up a little bit. If they're out. It should be pretty good already. I mean, there's basic body of a tank, about like that. Burn things up here. I don't have a die for these end caps. This is a special tank. It's an inch and a half by 2, shade over 2. I wish it would have been exactly 2 or a little less, but hopefully it'll fit. All right, I should have made it 1 7/8 or something. And this is 5.5 inches long, so this will hold 8.5 ounces of fuel, somewhere around in there when it's done.
Oh, I wouldn't give a number. Brett Buck will be on you. I will only hold 8.
Well, you can do the math and figure it out yourself. A 1 by 2 by 6 inch tank holds 6 ounces of fuel, basically. So figure it out. I can cut this to whatever length I want to. I'll figure it out in the end. I'll get one end cap on it, and I'll put 8.5 ounces of fuel in it and fill it up and see where it comes to, and I'll cut that tank off and solder the last end on it.
You can't do that.
I built a lot of these tanks.
gonna make it a clunk or not?
No, I'm just gonna hard plumb it. I could clunk it, but
Well, if you hard plumb it, then you gotta be able to shim it, can you?
I shouldn't have to. I can't go up with it if the airplane's sitting on its wheels. Cut outside this line about 3/16 of an inch. I'm just using a pair of scissors to cut this with.
Your good ones?
Ones I use for tin work. Sort of notch these corners out here. Gotta be sort of accurate on those. This is where you'll mess up. You'll mess your end caps up. You might make 3 or 4 of these things. Unless you got a die, and I sort of wish I had a die.
Well, I got all the shiners out of it.
When you cut these, when you notch these out, you go 90 degrees to the line. Like if I'm doing this line, I go 90 degrees on this, right in the point. And this line, it'd be 90 degrees to this line, and cut that, and you should bend up pretty easy. And you want to cut them just a hair short, what you want, short of the corner. Don't overcut, try not to. Always use the scissors way back in the back.
Shit.
It makes it easier, it gives you more leverage. I don't use 10 steps because they have a serrated edge on them. And that serration leaves a little ding marks in the edge of your pen, which can cause you some problems down the line. I guess I should have taken more time cutting this.
We got 20 and 14. Still here, Banshee. Okay, great.
This is the part where you wish you had paid somebody to build you a tank for you. This will have you cussing in the end, because it's very hard to make these things fit exactly right. You can bend a couple of these up. Not any problem. Overbend these just ever so slightly. You're going to mess with them when you go in. When you start adjusting these for your tank, you're going to find out that you'll need to fiddle around with it a little bit. There's our little
I might cut this out of the film and make a separate film for tank building. There's not enough time in the day though.
Yeah, not enough time in the day for all this stuff.
If you think doing them stencils takes time, try editing video.
Don't seem we've done too many videos, do you? Alright, that fits on that one a little bit better. Alright, now this is where I get a little picky.
getting cicadas off of this.
And right there.
Use this one. We'll use this one.
Okay.
Just put some more goop on it.
Should have marked this in. That's it. I can't see this. I'm pushing down and pushing in on the end cap and down on the body of the tank. It's pretty hard. I'm pushing down on this piece to hit up against the tank real hard. And I think I got it out of the line a little bit. Let's see how it looks.
Pretty good.
One last bend.
I wish there was some magic shit you could put on this and it would do it.
Yeah. Bewitch, wiggle your nose and make it happen. Here we have an end cap made. Now what I do with these, run through this, lightly tap this. I'm just barely lightly tapping this. I want to make sure I don't see any gaps in there. I did a lot of sheet metal work when I was in glass and glazing. I did all the finish work. Putting brake metal on all these big buildings and stuff. All right, there we go. There, that's ready to solder. I'll pop that off and wipe it out with some alcohol before I solder it on there. But that's as tight and as good as you're gonna get it. Just rubbing alcohol.
Still here.
But not in the way.
48 and 13, 58. 61.4. See, 1740. Touching anything? 1740. 1740. This bad boy weighs. Calculator, clear.
Yeah,
40.
little rising on there, but if you keep a lot of your heat on the end cap, the solder will follow the heat, so it'll flow towards wherever you put the heat at.
It didn't gain that much weight. It's 61.4. Must have sanded some off.
If you're going to get leaks, 90% of the time they'll be in these little corners. Always test this with water, never with fuel. You get oil and stuff and contaminate the joint, and then you'll play heck trying to get it resoldered again. You can look down inside of it and you can actually see a little bit of the solder. I don't know if you can on that camera or not, but where it come through and it penetrate the full width of the joint. So that's a good joint. Starting away, typical metal tank. Starting way up. So the next thing I'll do now is this will end up being the front of the tank. So what I'll do is I'll lay out, I'll clean this off here a little bit, and I'll lay out wherever I want my plumbing at. Obviously I'm going to end up one right here straight out the end. But on this tank, I'm going to come up the top and out and sort of angle forward, because the way and my plumbing in my airplane, if it comes straight out, it sort of gets in the way of the header on the pipe. So I want to come out and come forward a little bit at an angle, and that way these can sort of swoop down and around and into the side of the fuselage. So I might take a little bit on this. That scrounge up some materials. The last thing I'll do after I get this tank together and I pressure test it is I'll put some lacquer thinner in it and shake it around and make sure there's no flux or whatever in there. The only flux that'll be incorporated in there will be when I solder those lines in, and then you'll see some flux in there. All right. The best actual way to do these is to punch them rather than drill them. But I've had okay luck with drilling them the way I do them. Even these guys that build these tanks for a living, there's a lot of work goes into one of these things.
That old man Clay could whip it out in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I want to see him.
Clay friend. Tell you what, if we had another month to go before the nest, I'd cut that canopy off.
I know you would. Leave these a little long if you want to. Cut them off before you solder the end cap on so you can keep all the contamination out of there.
You're gonna solder the Uniflow and the pickup together?
Yeah, they'll end up soldered together in the end. In the end, I'll leave this just a little bit shy, coming back to the very back edge of the tank just to make sure that I don't solder it shut when I
Like I did.
solder the end cap back on it. Come right here in this corner in about 1/8 of an inch from both sides. We're going to drill an 1/8 inch hole. Good punch a hole in.
You know, that's the first time in my life I ever soldered a clunk tank solid like that.
Yeah.
Hell, getting old.
It's pretty easy to do. Got bad lighting and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I am in super bad lighting.
Starting to get a little warm.
Didn't take you long to inspect it.
No, hardly. Nothing precise about that, just grinding it. Now.
How many guys are still here?
I don't really necessarily like punching them holes in there like that.
You know, you have to take the engine out to take the tank out of that and put that one in. So you might as well try your other engine in there before you take it out.
Yeah. Probably so.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
All I did was bend it back. I drill the rest of them so they're on the side anyway. And just something I started doing a long time ago, and I just kept on doing it. When I put these lines in here, put them in there.
Get them out.
Now I'll do is hold that in place back there. When I solder these in here, I take a washer and I put a washer on it. Just doubles up the thickness of the metal there. And adds a little reinforcing around that metal for the putting fuel lines on and off and all that stuff. You don't.
Yeah, after the nuts, it might get a canopy repair, canopy redo. I'm gonna take both of them, the Tucker and this, whatever one I can fly the best.
Well, you got a new airplane every single year. You never hardly fly the same airplane 2 years in a row.
Horse shit, I flew the Junar 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row. And I'd fly it again this year if it wasn't such a rat. That airplane flies good. We got 18 watchers. Wish you could get on the other side. You make a great door, not a window.
Good. I'll spin in place back there. See, I got the line back in the back. Come back here. It's just a little bit short, plus it's got an angle cut on the end of it so that you can, it doesn't fit exactly back in there. Now comes the part when you look at your airplane, you see how you have to have your tank plumbed. Typically, you got to have something come out like this, or you come out the side on a profile airplane. I'll come out the side down here and end it right here, and let it come back here to the back, and then that way it won't interfere with the head sticking here. A lot of tanks come straight out and go right into the back of the head. You kink your fuel line, or you got to try to bend this down or whatever. Have it come out the side down here on the bottom and let it just come up here to this point, and you'll be just as good. And then your fuel line will come around here and just plug right into that. Easy peasy. That's good enough for that. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. That's that good like that.
You gonna make it the same length as the CAS tank?
It's a little bit longer.
You got enough room?
Yeah. See, right there is about where it'll be at. So I'm gonna have these come out like this. I could have this one come out right here. Come out and come forward, and that way I can just run down here and under into there.
You gotta kneel the tube to get it bent.
Nah, you don't need to do all that stuff.
Okay.
I bend it all the time without a knee on it. All right, now let's see where I want to do this. How do I want to do this?
Somebody's bugging you. I bet it's Danny.
Oscar L. Blue.
$17. How many of you guys make your own tanks?
Yeah, I might not be able to get that in there. This one, the end about 38 shy of the other one.
Let's see, here doing pocket hinges on a stiletto. Good, good. Did you order those lollipops from the guy on on Stunt Hanger? Or did you cut them yourself? I guess you wouldn't have to do a lollipop. You could just do a straight stick, but wouldn't look as good.
Maybe you jeopardize the trailing edge of the wing.
No, just a little 3/8 straight stick.
Yeah, we got to insert it into the back of the wing, right?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the flap. You know, instead of having a round hole, you could just have straight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you could.
Wouldn't look as good.
Now, what I'll probably do here is I'll probably solder that like that. And the reason for that, I can come up this way. I can't go the other way. So if everything runs off the uniflow line, so I'll solder that uniflow line on the underneath side of that pickup line. Put everything in there. We'll be good to go. It'll be fine. I need to adjust this a little bit. Perfect.
Man, it can take a lot. I got some of it done for the first time. Need another 2-3 sandings on the damn thing.
Yeah.
Needs more clear on it is what it needs.
Slather on another.
Huh?
Slather on another bunch of clear on.
Yeah.
See what I've done here is I've soldered those two lines to the back inside the tank. I don't know if you can see that down in there, but they're soldered to the side of the tank. They're soldered to each other. They're not going to go nowhere. This will be my uniflow tube that feeds my uniflow vent line coming outside, pickup tube to the motor. Okay, now I need is an overflow tube. You normally go to the top inside. So we'll come up here. We'll just go a straight tube, 90-degree bend, and we'll angle it sort of this way so this tube can sort of come around and swerve back around out into the side of my fuselage because it's just a way of things done that. So one little Harry Higley bend. Let's wonder. It's just a 90-degree bend. Doesn't have to be anything special.
Yeah, it does.
Just 90 degrees.
Got to be special though.
Okay. Cut this thing. We'll keep it sort of low profile to the tank. We're gonna bring get the fuel line on it. And down here.
Damn.
Like this. Where to go? Where to go? Shop 8. There it is. It's just a little cone bit. Clean out the burrs on the inside of the tube.
You got a piece of red tubing down here about that long?
Red tubing.
Yeah. Fuel line.
I don't have red fuel line.
That stuff we use.
Oh, up there in that fuel line drawer. I better cut that off at an angle.
Fuel line drawer. Yeah. There we go. Ow, ow, ow. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Take you long to inspect it?
Nope. I've almost grabbed that soldering iron a couple times.
I'm hungry.
up here in this front corner.
These BBs are a good idea.
Oh yeah, I messed up on that piece. I have to make another one. Cut that one a little too short. Duh. That one a little too short. A dummy.
Okay.
Use that one. It's not to waste. That piece will be used on a different kind of tank. One that's not an inch and a half thick.
You cut too short?
Well, I didn't allow for the taper on the thing, and when I tapered it, it was too short. So. I made it too close to the top of the tank like that, where you can't hardly get fuel line in it. On it. So I wanted to allow a little more clearance on that. Clearance. Clearance. Cut that at an angle, and I cut a little slot in just to make sure that it's can't poke it up in there and make it solid where it won't work. But I think I'm nuts for doing all this. Probably am.
Well, we got 21 watchers. They don't think you're nuts. Could not find the advertise. It's the CNC routing link in the
Down towards the bottom of the list of people.
yeah. I need to probably order a double order on next go around. Because if I don't do it, he might die and I won't have nobody to.
Yeah, won't have anybody to do it.
Yeah.
That's possible. Do me a favor.
Need to do that one too.
Yeah. Maybe I'll use this. Need a bigger washer. Need a 5.
Washer.
Need a bigger washer.
The washer. And dryer.
Make it lay flat.
Where do you get the pocket hinge? If you go to Stunt Hanger and go to the vendor's corner, there's a CNC, I think it's Northbridge CNC, way down in the bottom in the vendor's corner. And just tell them to send you what Sparky gets.
Those pocket hinges are really determined by how thick
The flaps are.
the flaps are. If your flaps are 1/4 inch, you get 1/4 inch pocket hinges. If they're
But-
3/8, you get 3/8. If they're half, you get a half.
But I don't believe 1/4 inch pocket hinges would work very well.
Probably not.
I use 3/8 flaps. No problem, Paul.
Use 3/8 flaps. What you need to use at least 3/8. I don't like that way that came out.
It'll be fine. Must be 12 o'clock now, or after 1 o'clock.
My stomach's starting to talk to me. Yeah, I got it pretty good. See, there we go, guys. There's our top two. Vent pipes. I'm gonna take this and bend that down just a little teeny bit. That's probably a little bit long, but that's all right. Cut that off anytime. But everything's vented in here. This one, I put them washers on there because it really gives a lot of more strength to that where those tubing come out. Now the last thing to do is make one more end cap and pressure test it, but I might take this thing and fill it up with some water and see just how much fuel that'll hold, just so that I know.
Range.
It's 1:30. No wonder I'm hungry. Does this have fuel in it, or does this have alcohol in it? I want to use water.
Ah!
Three quarters.
It'll be perfect.
Almost eight ounces. Almost 8 ounces. Right, probably all 8 ounces maybe. Cool. So that tells me that cap tank is not an 8-ounce tank.
No,
It's a
it's a metric tank.
All right. I think we got to go eat, guys. I'm sorry, but I have to eat.
We'll be back after lunch. I think we're going to go flying today, maybe. I got to get at least one flight on the Continental. One
It'll be late.
good flight.
Still got that contest going on out there. Till 5 o'clock. They got the field. But I would imagine that those guys come 3 o'clock or something like that. They'll be starting to wind down and trying to go home. All right.
All right, we'll be back after lunch. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that good business.
Thank you very much, guys.
See ya.
Matter soldering on an end cap.